What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm gonna be meeting with a mentor, Chris Dufey. This guy built a massive fitness business in Australia, and me and him had a conversation about scaling pizza domination, $2 million a month. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Let's go.
Don't usually name drop our partners because frankly, I like them having their competitive edge. But today I'm making a small exception because Brian just put out a video on how we are helping him get to $2 million a month and beyond. And I just think far too many coaches these days, they're like dancing bears. They're stuck on the content production hamster wheel. They're slaves to the social media algorithms. And I wanted to share this episode because I think there's a lot that you can learn from Brian today. The guy is a beast. His energy and his focus, it's like trying to keep up with a rocket ship. Anytime that we need content, especially for his funnels or his ads, he's on it faster than a caffeine-fueled squirrel. And what you really need to be able to take from today is the thinking process. Listen to this actual, what I thought was a private conversation, but us actually going through the strategy of what we are using literally today to be able to grow a multi-seven-figure per month coaching business. So if you want to be able to scale your coaching business today, I really suggest that you stick with this. I really suggest you get ready to take some notes and look at what it is that we're actually doing. Listen to the questions and listen to the process that I'm actually taking Brian through, because this is literally the conversation. This is what we do with our partners, with our clients that come to us. We go through this conversation and we actually dissect what's going on. What are the bottlenecks to the business? What's missing? What's broken? What is it that you want to be able to get to? What's the fastest path for you to be able to get there at the end of the day as well? Because there's really three key areas that we focus on to hit multi-seven-figure months. You need to be able to focus on the ads and the funnels, so we can engineer the exact process to how we're going to generate the leads, drive them into sales conversations, and have them sold into the actual right offers. But then we need to be able to focus on the actual effective strategies. We need to game plan on what actually needs to happen. What is it that so you can stay in your zone of genius? And what is it if you've got your team members as well? You know, I've got to be perfectly honest as well. What is it that your team members are going to do? Because if you're wanting to get to multi-seven figures a month, there's a very good chance that you're just not going to be a one-man band. So you need to be able to have your team, you need to be able to have your entire culture set up to be able to have it seamless, integrated, dare I say even a little bit easy. Otherwise, it's just going to feel like absolute chaos as well. Because then the third thing that we need to be able to focus on, and really finally, is actually how do we measure success? How do we know that we are doing the right things to get us to the right results at the end of the day? We need to be able to have the analytics and the tracking and the reporting in place so that we know that the things that we're doing are actually getting us to where we're going to be able to go to. And that's why I want to share this with you.
A system that we run ads that grows followership but gets leads, turns leads into prospects that gets us onto driving more calls, that then is able to have a high show rate, high conversion rate on calls, that also is able to then drive into a higher lifetime value. The other thing as well that I would do is to run some live workshops as well, because I feel like if someone is able to get onto like a once a month live call with you, we'll be able to sell a shit so we're seeing about a 30% conversion rate should happen on a live workshop. So driving to a live workshop, let's say if we do it once a month, they are typically the people that will not buy through a DM and will not buy through getting onto a call. Now, and there's a couple of important parts going through this process.
Yep.
The problem with the booking the call thing, one of the problems, it's not a problem, but it's a problem to be solved and managed, is a case of it's very likely they've already booked a call, had a strategy session, something along those lines. So the messaging that I want to come to the market is, hey, you've probably already had a discovery call or a strategy call or something like that. So I would position the actual the call differently and name it something more like have a demo call. Let us show you what our system is, so that worst case scenario, you see behind the scenes and you can apply it to your business. Best case scenario, we come in, we show you everything, give you it on a silver platter, and then you'll be able to blow your business up.
If you've made it this far, seriously, thank you. I appreciate you being here. But real quick, if you are a coach or consultant who wants to be able to build a self-growing business without bloated team, a big ad budget, or working more than 3 hours a day, then make sure that you hit subscribe, because everything I share here is built for founders just like you, because it's likely that you are done chasing bigger and ready to build better. So let's get back to it. Now, are you one funnel away? I don't think so. I think it's a little bit too simplistic, but what is realistic is we need to be able to think of 3 key buckets. This is another thing that we do with literally every single client that we work with, especially to make sure that you've got a rock solid strategy to feel confident that you are going to grow. And that is, number 1, do you have a system in place to get people that don't know you to know you? That's number 1. Number 2 is, how do you actually build trust and relationships with those people? And how do you do that with leverage and at scale? And then thirdly, how do you then have those right people go into sales conversations to then to be able to convert them into your offers? And how do you be able to do this at a high enough level so you're wildly profitable and you don't have what I call operational drag. You don't have your business or your team members having to go through a bunch of different stuff that's really not needed, and it's only going to make it harder, slower, and even more or not fun. So this is where we need to be able to have the effective strategies to be able to have that rapid growth that you're looking for.
And what we did for the cartel was amazing. What we do now is shit tons better. Like, there's a couple things that kind of like immediately jumped to me as well. Offer is good. Obviously, I can see the targeting of what the offer is like. We're getting like your first, client as to what's going on. Like, so one of the best lead generator tools that I used inside of the cartel was the book. I'm always like 1 page, 1 call to action. Like 1 page, 1 call to action. I get them just to do 1 key factor as to what is. And obviously in this, it would be like the text message. I would probably drive it to WhatsApp, and just because the WhatsApp is getting indoctrination is a lot higher for us to be able to use, and because it syncs in with a bunch of things with Meta, because Meta now owns WhatsApp also. Call to action, go through that. Email, I'd fix copy and focus and steps and stuff like that with email. And like something Cal's been able to dial in like an absolute mofo is the outbound setting. So that would be like one thing I would want to like tap into it.
Because I don't want this episode to be too long, I want to be able to walk you through all of the processes as to what we're actually using with our clients today. So you can just take it, just use it, abuse it, and get the results for yourself and see how the actual process works. Because as one of the biggest problems coaches are having literally today is they're not knowing their critical numbers. And I want you to be able to know just the simple things that you have to understand. Because as I said at the start of this episode, is if we don't have the right analytics and the reporting and the tracking in place, how do you know that what you're doing today is actually getting the result that you want to be able to get to? You don't. And that's really frustrating. For me, I found that really frustrating. So I needed to take that frustration out of the way. I needed to ensure, and I needed to have the confidence of what I'm doing, what my team's doing, what we're working on in today, in this week, in this month, in this quarter is going to get us to the results that we want to be able to go to. I'm sure you want to be able to feel the same as well. And now what I also find more fun is, rather than me just talking about topics that I want to talk about, which I find fun, but I think what's more helpful for you is if you go into the YouTube comments and put in what are the problems, what are the topics that you want to be able to have solved, and I will actually shoot the next episodes directly talking to that as well. So drop it in the comments and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, that's it for today. And if this did hit home for you today, and if you are building a business that's meant to give you more money and more freedom, then I want you to be able to do 2 things before you go. 1, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because you're a bummer if you missed out on everything else to come. Number 2, grab the link in the description and be able to book in your free demo so you can see the exact systems, the exact process, and you can be able to install it inside of your business. Because remember, this channel is for coaches and creators who want a daily income, simple systems, and to be able to take time off. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.